G'day, welcome back to the channel Ginger Ninja's Movie Reviews. I'm the Ginger Ninja and these are my Franchise Friday movie reviews. This month we are looking at the Wishmaster franchise and we're up to Wishmaster 3, Devilstone, also known as Beyond the Gates of Hell. This film came out in 2001 and was directed by Criss Angel. No, not that Criss Angel, different Criss Angel. Now, I'm sure they get that all the time. Anyway, film stars Jason Connery, ajcooke, Tobias Meller, Emanuellevaugier, hope I'm pronouncing that right, and John Novak as the Djinn. Yeah, so we don't have Andrew Divoff in this one, so none of the original cast are returning in any way, shape or form. Yeah. That loses a point for that, to be honest. Anyway, the plot. The evil Djinn is back at it again, this time wreaking havoc on the students of Illinois Baxter University. That's it. That's all we've got as a plot. Now this is direct from IMDb, so take that plot with a little bit of a grain of salt, although it is pretty much accurate. There is a lot more to it though. But I will say with this one, I don't know what I'm missing about this film. Going into this franchise, it kicked off with such an amazing start, so I had high hopes of this, and I had been warned that some of these aren't great. This looks like it's one of those ones which just, either I'm missing something completely, or it's just not that good. Now, I'll get into some of the reasons why I feel that way about this, but the problem is anything that starts out with on such a high note, like the original Wishmaster, I would gush about that film, till the ends of the earth. I really enjoyed that, but this had so much potential. There's so much rich mythology that they could have really been expanding upon. And it could have made a really compelling horror icon along the lines of people like or creations like Pinhead or Freddy Krueger, and it would have expanded the franchise to new heights. But let's get into this one.
Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you're going hate this, you can fucking bite me. I'll be cruising in my lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, not fucking likely. I be taking shots, cold-blooded, icy. Watching numbers grow is what I call sightseeing. In the front row, run it up when they hype me. The following grows, they know how to ignite me. Call me CEO, I've been running shit right, see. And I ain't playing games, I create my own lane, making pleasure.
Okay, so let's kick it off with the cast. And look, the performances in Wishmaster 3 are serviceable, but they're not memorable. ajcooke does her best with the material she's given, but her character, Diana, is very thinly written. She's a standard horror protagonist. She's brave, resourceful, but she's lacking in any depth beyond being the final girl type. Her relationship with her partner, Greg, it just feels underdeveloped. So when the film tries to inject emotional stakes into their battle with the Djinn, it just doesn't land as effectively as it could. Now, Andrew Divoff's portrayal of the Djinn in the first two films was iconic, and his absence in this is sorely felt. John Novak's portrayal of the creature lacks the charisma and malicious glee that Andrew Divoff brought to the role in the first two films. And as a result, the character feels underwhelming and less of a genuine threat. But he is only half of the villainous performance. And one thing I do want to mention is, when you look at the evolution of characters in film, you look at Freddy, you look at Pinhead. Now, they were both played by Robert Englund and Doug Bradley, respectively. Andrew Divoff, given time, I believe would have made this into a more iconic role if he was given a chance. For whatever reason, he didn't return for the next two films. And it's really disappointing because I honestly believe Wishmaster from 1 and 2, the Djinn, could have been up there with the great. If you've got your Wall of Fame, you've got your Freddy, you've got your Jason, you've got your Michael, you've got your Pinhead. Could the Djinn have been up there? Yeah, I reckon we could have, if this film had Andrew Divoff bringing that maliciousness to it. But John Novak is only part of the performance. We do have Jason Connery, who takes on the human face of the Djinn for most of the film. And honestly, he does not have anywhere near the creepy menace that Andrew Divoff had. Most times he comes off as sleazy as opposed to menacing. Now, overall, the performances are really inconsistent. You've got several actors that just deliver very flat and uninspired performances, and much of the dialogue, and this comes down to the writing, I understand, but it just feels wooden and it lacks any emotional weight or intensity that's needed for a film of the horror genre. It makes it harder to feel invested and feel for these characters and their struggles. So now on to the directing and the writing. And look, one of the most glaring issues with Wishmaster 3 that I found was its failure to build any sustained tension. The Djinn, while still a formidable villain, comes off as very less menacing than in previous installments. It feels especially thin and very formulaic. The plot is very much a repetitive cycle of characters making poorly thought out wishes and suffering the consequences. And honestly, you don't care. The sudden introduction of an angelic subplot, which I kind of guess it was touched upon in Wishmaster 2, where the character all of a sudden goes under a godly cleansing. But this subplot where ajcooke's character is somehow connected to the Archangel Michael and must summon him in order to battle the Djinn, and it's this divine intervention that adds a very confusing layer to the mythology that feels completely out of place in the Wishmaster universe. It's never really explained, at least that I found, in a satisfying way, unless I missed something. Now, onto the effects. And look, if you're watching a Wishmaster movie, you're probably expecting a healthy dose of over-the-top death scenes and some really gnarly special effects. Wishmaster 3 doesn't quite live up to the creative depths of its predecessors. Some of the practical effects, especially the Djinn's physical appearance, are well executed, but the makeup and creature design, that they help maintain the monstrous and unsettling appearance of the Djinn, it's nowhere near as good as the effects of the first two films. And to me, the look of the Djinn changing would make sense if this was a different Djinn. And maybe it is, but we're never actually explained that. Are they the same? Are they different? Who knows? The death scenes are that's all. Like, nothing stands to mind out of any of the death scenes at all. The CGI is lackluster, but yeah, it's unfortunate because I was expecting a lot more out of this one. Now on to rewatchability, and will I rewatch this one? Not bloody likely. Honestly, I just found nothing to hold my interest. There was no tension, there was no scares. The effects were rather, like I said, rather lackluster. Like, maybe I was missing something. Like, maybe I missed something through it, but there was just nothing that made me feel invested in this film. And I really wanted to. Yes, I was disappointed in Wishmaster 2, but Wishmaster 1 was such a good film. I had really high hopes that this would come back and be just... Unfortunately, it didn't. And look, it is what it is, and probably won't go back and rewatch this one. Final verdict. And look, this is a film that falls victim to the law of diminishing returns, especially within the horror franchise realm. It lacks inventive deaths, witty dialogue, and a strong villain presence that made the first film a really great watch. This just feels like a very generic direct-to-video sequel that doesn't quite know how to keep its central premise fresh. There is still some fun to be had with the Djinn's warp wishes, and like I said, there are a couple of good moments, a couple of good deaths in it, but nothing too extravagant. But ultimately, it just doesn't live up to its potential. I mentioned the mythology, and there is a huge amount of mythology and a rich world that could be delved into. But it seems to me they've just went, let's just use this character, put him with a bunch of people and kill him off. That's all they've done. Yeah. Rather disappointing, to be honest. But overall for a score, Wishmaster 3 gets a 3 out of 10. There you have it. That is my review of Wishmaster 3. Have you seen this film? Am I wrong? Like, am I missing something about this movie? Like, what didn't I get? Or do you agree with me? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one because, yeah, like I said, it just doesn't have the same punch as the first one or even the second one. You know, going back, I would actually rate the second one higher after watching this one. So yeah. Anyway, look, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please do hit that thumbs up button. Much appreciated. And of course, you've listened to me dribble on about these films for long enough. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so that way you can listen to me dribble on about these films even more. But if you hit that notification bell, you'll be notified every time I do release a new one. And speaking of new ones, we are coming up to the end of September. So what's up for October? Well, we've got 31 days of Halloween. So 31 non-stop reviews, 60-second reviews though. So check out my 60-second reviews if you haven't. These are usually just movies that I watch during the week. Chuck up a quick review, let you know what I thought of them. Could be anything. Recently done Borderlands, Trap, yeah, you name it. The Watchers was a good one. But for Halloween month, I will be looking at 31 horror films that I either haven't seen or haven't seen in a long time. So there will be some rather surprising ones. Yeah, why haven't you seen that? Well, now I'm going to. Anyway, look, before I ramble on too much, thank you very much for watching. Please do, have a great day, and thanks for watching. Bye.